All right, when discussing leadership opportunities, in the past I've been a retail manager on a couple occasions, own my own restaurant, which requires a lot of leadership, is a difficult task. And as an educator, I've also been a leader. My beliefs on leadership is something that is taken. If you are waiting for someone to hand you a leadership position, you're probably not really a leader. Leaders look for opportunities and leaders look for problems to solve. When I first came to Texas, as I mentioned before, I was a teacher's assistant in an SLC SEBS unit, meaning that I did not have the responsibilities, I did not have the same authority as a classroom teacher or any administrator. But that did not stop me from looking for problems and solving them. Our campus was having some severe behavior issues. It was my principal's first year, and it was my first year. And we both got together about halfway through and we talked about how we could fix it. As the years went on, I started as the ISS instructor, and a lot of ISS instructors, they will sit in their room and they will wait for the behavior problem children to come to them, and they will babysit them for a day or 2 days. Then they'll send them back to class, and obviously that's not really effective. So together we built, I led a lot of initiatives such as PBIS, which a lot of schools are familiar with, mentoring, just really an overall school system that would keep the kids out of trouble, and those kids who are specifically repeat offenders, making sure we put behavioral interventions in place so that we were helping these kids for the future. You know, it wasn't just about 1 year. It wasn't just about elementary school. It was about the rest of their life. That moved on. I eventually evolved into the operational team leader. Our operations teams dealt with the SSTs, the 504s. We dealt with kids who were having behavior issues, and we implemented strategies campus-wide. And even in some cases, we had impact on the district to improve climate and culture in the school. And it's something I led, and it's something I was very proud to do for 3 years. The question that's been put to me is, how do you work with people who are struggling? And I don't know if this question is about students who are struggling academically, or if this is adults that you are supervising who are having trouble. I'm going to answer this question as if I'm supervising adults. And I believe in a philosophy that is really popular in management, and it's called put your aces in places. If you have a teacher who is struggling, obviously you want to go back and you want to give that teacher the opportunity to retrain. If there's a hole in their behavior plan, then you give them the opportunity to retrain for that. Or if they are not understanding the TEKS, then there are training opportunities in the district for that. But it's true that some people aren't always where they should be, and I believe that when you put your aces in places, you're making sure that you are putting the best person for each job. If you have a TA, a teaching assistant, who is very organized, and she's working with kindergarten students, and she just has a hard time with little kids, or maybe she has a hard time with germs, you move that TA to the office or to the copy room where they can organize and not be around the children. You find what their strengths are and you put them in places where they can be the most successful. I honestly believe there's a place for everybody, and you just have to find where that place is and help them get there. I am a big proponent of community engagement and volunteering. When I first became a certified teacher here at Bean Elementary here in Lubbock, Texas, I started a leadership group, which is now the National Elementary Honor Society Leadership Group, for our campus. And one of the things I installed immediately is volunteering. We volunteer once a month out in the neighborhood and out in the community. We do Ronald McDonald House. We do muscular dystrophy walks. We collect food for charities. We do a lot of different things all throughout Lubbock, Texas. And I think it brings attention to the school, first off. A lot of people ask me, they say, well, where's Bean Elementary at? I've never heard of Bean Elementary. And the reason why is because we are in a very economically diverse, very poor area of Lubbock. We are 100% free and reduced lunch, and there is a lot of crime, a lot of violence, a lot of gangs in my neighborhood and shootings. Usually get about one shooting a year. And so a lot of people aren't aware of who we are. So it gives a face to our school and say, yeah, just because we're not on the nicer side of town, we care about our community too. In addition, it gives those kids that are living in poverty, an opportunity to see the world beyond their neighborhood. A lot of times those kids can't escape the 10 blocks that they live in. And so they don't know what's going on the other side of town. And they also need to know that there are people out there that have it worse than they do. You know, when you go help a family who has a child who is in the hospital dying of cancer, you know, that really brings into perspective for the children that, okay, maybe I didn't get new Nikes for Christmas, but my life isn't that bad. And so I'm involved in leadership. I'm also involved in doing community barbecues and things to try to get the parents involved with the school. But overall, I think it's an opportunity that we as educators miss far too often because we're so focused on the academic side, the STAR testing side of things, and not the relationship with the parents, the school, and the children working all three together. So the next question is, tell me something about yourself someone might know. I was actually joking around with my wife earlier today. Right now I'm staring into a camera, having to look at myself. I am 6'4", 300 pounds, and apparently I have a perpetual frown. A lot of people find me a little bit intimidating or scary. Um, Honestly, I feel like a big kid, and I am always a big kid. I love to joke. I love to be free. I love to smile. Best part of our job as educators is laughing along with the kids and celebrating wins. So when you first meet me, you may think that I'm a mean old man. But honestly, I don't see myself as a 46-year-old grown up. I see myself as a 12-year-old kid right there alongside the rest of the kids, just enjoying the best part of the school day. What would you consider to be your greatest success? I would have to say my greatest success is life in general. My marriage is stronger than it's ever been. My career is really taking off. My relationship with the Lord has gotten stronger and stronger each year. And my wife and I, we're just happy. We're comfortable with life. We're not rich, but we are successful enough that we don't have any problems. You know, I look back 10 years ago to the younger man who was in the early stages of his marriage and was kind of trying to fumble through, figure things out. And I look at my jobs that I had and how I was rarely happy. These were prior to education jobs. And I just kind of found my niche in education, and life has been just one success after another since I've started this track. And I don't know, I guess success is happiness, and that's what I am right now. And I think I'm going to continue on this path of being happy and developing in life and maturing and just enjoying what life is bringing me. I prioritize tasks based on their importance. If a task is going to impact the whole group or the whole campus, then obviously that's the one I'm going to focus on first. If I have the opportunity to start a task and then delegate it to somebody else so that they can put their stamp on it, that is great. And that's how I would prefer to do things. Just kind of start off the vision and then allow somebody else to run with it. To be honest, I am a tasker. I am a doer. I don't always take things to committee. I don't always need a consensus agreement, depending on what it is. If it's something that's going to impact the entire campus, impact the way people teach, then of course I'm going to get as much buy-in as possible. That's really important. But this question to me seems to be more of a personal question versus a question about how the whole campus is run. As far as organization, I keep a calendar. I take notes. I could probably do a better job organizing myself in that matter. But I honestly keep a lot of it in my head. Something I need to get better at.